Jeppson's Malort is considered by a lot of people to be the most horrible liquor they've ever had.
To me, Malort tastes like sweaty socks.
Metallic pine needles.
Cantaloupe plus tires, like rubber.
Technically, it's like a digestif. Realistically, sour and regret. It's pretty rough.
First thought is awful, but then it's an acquired taste that now that I can't actually get enough of.
My name is Tremaine Atkinson. I am CEO and head distiller for CH Distillery. My best description of the taste of Jeppson's Malort is ass, gas, and fire all at the same time. I personally love it and I think it tastes great, but maybe I'm a little weird.
When a CEO describes his product as something that tastes like ass, gas, and fire, it's safe to assume that there's a story that needs to be told. And that story, as it turns out, is one of legend.
Malort was invented in the 1930s by Carl Jeppson, a Swedish immigrant who smoked so many cigars that it killed his taste buds. So he had to come up with something with such a strong flavor that it could cut through and give him a real experience.
So, do tell, what did he come up with?
We can say that it does have wormwood in it, and that is its primary flavor, and everything else after that is top secret.
But please, more about wormwood.
Wormwood is a plant. It's really an herb. It looks a little bit just like a twig with some small leaves on it. It grows just about everywhere. When you take a bite of it, it is the most bitter substance that you really ever could bite into.
Please excuse my naivete, but can someone please explain why? Why would anyone drink this stuff?
Jeppson's Malort is an old school Chicago tradition. Chicago has some really iconic things about it, like deep dish pizza and the bean and Lake Michigan. I think why Malort is so embraced is because those other things are nice, but Malort is kind of the badass icon of Chicago. It allows us to be ourselves. I wanted to get involved with Malort ever since I started making booze here in Chicago because it is such a staple of the Chicago drinking scene.
Staple? More like an anti-staple. How many shots of this could you possibly sell?
On average, 365 days a year, people are taking 10,000 shots of Malort. So think about that. Every night, 10,000 shots of Malort are disappearing into people's bodies. That was a really weird way to say that.
Weird indeed, but point made.
I vaguely remember my first shot of Malort.
Same.
I remember my friend who was from here said, "Oh, you got to try a shot of this." And I took it and I just said, "Why? Why did you do that to me?" That was how I was introduced to it, but now I love Malort because I love the way it tastes. I think it is fascinating. I love the balance between the pure bitterness and the herbal and floral flavors, that little touch of sweetness, the heat of the alcohol. All of that adds up to me as a really, really interesting taste experience. And I also love the way it makes me feel.
I love the way that you love Malort, and I only wish that one day I will be so lucky to love something as much as you love your beloved Malort.